Being from having that mentality that it doesn't matter where you're from, you can always do great things because, of course, we all know what our reputation is on the outside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hearne on the Map with Michael Deshawn. I'm so excited and fortunate for this person that I'm interviewing today, someone who I've known since high school and is a special part of my life, a big inspiration of mine. He is the current Hearne High School girls head coach. He is an educator in Hearne ISD for 8 years. He's a Sam Houston State graduate. He's a Hearne High School 2008 graduate.
For sure.
He's a father of 2 and a loving husband. He's none other than the coach, Anthony Gonzales. Whoop, whoop. What's up, Ant?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. We always have conversation about so much stuff for Hearne, and I'm looking forward to what you can share about your journey to getting to where you are now. So with Hearne on the Map, we start off by asking everyone, what's your Hearne background? What was it like growing up for you?
For me, I had a great experience as a kid growing up in Hearne. Even if I went to another school for a brief period, all my family that I was around from Hearne, big family on my dad's side. So I look forward to every weekend being able to come and visit with family and friends and just playing sports as a kid growing up here. And then in high school, being able to have the teachers we had. I'm so thankful of the teachers and friends I made. And of course, I met my wife in high school. So my experience as a kid was great.
You had a lot of cousins in your family that were athletes as well. What was it like being surrounded by all of them growing up?
I wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like them. I can remember going to the games, especially in junior high. And I wanted to be like my big cousin, Alfonso Jackson, because, you know, he was playing quarterback, and then basketball, he was pretty good. And then I also looked up to Ken Dunn, and then I also looked up to Pat Edwards and Montre Weber, who I got to play with those guys a couple years.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of good role models like that was within a year or two age range that we looked up to, and they worked hard, and that's what we wanted to be like.
You dropped your whole crew.
I did. I could keep going.
What is something that you appreciate most about being from Hearne?
Being from having that mentality that it doesn't matter where you're from, you can always do great things because, of course, we all know what our reputation is on the outside, but we have great people we have great people in Hearne.
Yes.
In the past, and we still do. You know, even the kids we have in the high school and junior high now, you know, it's just all about guidance and leadership and stability. Like I said, the family that I got married into was full of educators, and so I think you know who I'm talking about, your family. But being able to know those people on a personal level, not just at school, really helps me and helped me realize that we can teach kids and other adults more about life than just in the school system. Because, you know, holidays, what the conversations can be like.
Yeah.
It's not just school, it's just about life in general.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to, like I said, the family I married into, those conversations I get on the holidays make you stay around a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you know what you're going to hear.
I'm happy and grateful for our family because I think we always inspire each other. You know, people are imperfect, but it's, you know, we always got to keep going and making sure that we're inspiring not only ourselves, but the people around us. So that's good. How did Anthony Gonzales become who he is today after Hearne High School? I know you had a journey going from graduating and then actually, can we go back? Because I forgot to talk about the fact that you were a regional finalist in basketball 2008. What position did you play? I was a manager back then.
Yeah, I remember. I was more of a shooting guard, but we had an injury happen to one of our best players, Jamie Smith, who was our top scorer, and then so we kind of made some. We were fairly young that year. It was only me and the two other seniors,
Forrest and
Tavarius Moore, and then we had a lot of sophomores and freshmen on that team, a couple juniors and a lot of sophomores and freshmen, and that team just. We had great coaches in Brock McGrew and Fondell Adams. And then we can't forget about David Hill and Coach Macias, who also helped a lot. But that team was we bonded well together. And I tell everybody, I was in a great basketball program all 4 years. And there was a lot of talent that came through, a lot of talent. And for some reason, my senior year, that was our, I guess, if I can say it right, the less talented team that I played on. I mean, we were talented, but my freshman, sophomore, junior year, we just had a lot of talent. But my senior year was the year that we finally were able to get to that regional tournament. And we won game from state, and that team just bonded well. That team played together.
I remember that last game in Austin and hoping that we could have made it to state that year. But to be honest, I feel like y'all set the tone for what the 2019 team was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back to my original question, what's your journey from high school to get into where you are now?
I never knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I always thought about coaching, but of course, if you want to coach, you have to teach something.
Yeah.
But going through college, I was just kind of, like I said, there was kind of like no guidance on what I wanted to do. I was just kind of going with the flow, completing classes, and I guess a year before I graduated college, I was kind of like, well, I guess I'll go to school and be a teacher because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Well, when I graduated 2013 from Sound, and I took a different route unintentionally, and took a job for about 9 months, manual labor. I was like, man, I didn't go to school to do this, and I'm like, I'm not built for this, to be working like this.
Yeah.
So I ended up passing, Hearne offered me a job the next year, and then I ended up getting certified with passing the content test and stuff like that. And this is where I've been since. I'm working on this is my 8th year.
Ooh, 8 years. 8 years. Wow, you've been in there. What was it? What was it like becoming a coach or becoming a head coach, having, played, and all of your family went to Hearne High School, and then now you in this position now? What is that like for you?
The first thing I learned very, very quickly was being a player and being a coach is completely different. A lot of people think you had to be a good player, a great player to be a good coach. And being a coach is like being a teacher. The more that you can motivate kids or a team to a certain goal, being able to relate to those kids or being able to relate to your team goes a long way than you being able to score 30 points a game in high school or throwing for 30, 40 touchdowns in the season in high school. It's about getting kids to work for a certain goal together. And I realized some kids won't have the same mindset that you had, because some just play sports in high school just to play sports. So that's the challenges of coaching. And to me, that's one of the greatest things is finding those challenges and getting to work with the group. And I've coached, boys, and I've coached now this is my 5th year coaching girls. And that's all it is, just finding that balance with your team and keeping them on the same path for that ultimate goal.
Keeping them working towards goals and finding that balance. That's good. So this is the 2021-2022 season, and each year y'all have been getting better and better, taking it higher and higher. What are you looking forward to most this season? And also, can you just talk about this group of girls that you're working with now? How are they different from any of the groups that you work with in the past?
Well, first, let me go back to my first year because this is my 5th year, and every year I've had a good group. Every year I've had a good group of girls. I think that first year was just, for one, me being a young head coach and first, being a rookie and and running my team, because before I took the head girls job, I was an assistant for 3 years with doing football and then assistant basketball. When I finally got the head girls job, I noticed how much the girls would pay attention, which was a positive. So before I start with this year's team, the last 4 years, the group of girls I had, they all would. It's like just the mentality of them. Each year it got better. Each year it got better. In my first year, I will never forget. The senior group I we beat Lexington or Cameron, and they told me in the locker room, the seniors told me that was the first time they had beat a different team in district. And I'll never forget going into that second semester of that season. Our record didn't show that we were very good that year, but as the season went on, we got better and we got better and we got better. And then the next year was when we finally got into the playoffs for the first time. I think it was like 13, 14 years. And the funny thing about that was the last time a girls team had made the playoffs was my freshman year in high school, and our girls were in the playoffs. They played in Waco. So I remember that team. And so it was like it just came all back full circle, and then led us to.
It's even coming full circle when you have athletes on your team whose parents. Let's talk about Sierra and Caddy. Caddy was on the 2001 team, or I think that made it
2001 team.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of stuff that's coming full circle.
Yeah, so like last year was the first time we won district in 20 years, and Caddy was on that team in 2001. And so, of course, she had 2 daughters on that team with Trey and Sierra. Last year's team was just, I guess you could say last year's team was different because the first couple years I was trying to show the girls like y'all can beat these teams that that we're playing. And I always remember people walking in the gym thinking that we were going to be an easy win. And that's been the mentality and mindset. And a few coaches have told me that, and that's all credit to the girls and their parents on pushing them. That, man, when we used to play Hearne, we knew we were going to win. When we played the Hearne girls, we knew we were going to win because they were going to fight with each other. And so now, like I said, last year's team was different. We won district for the first time in 20 years. Went to the 3rd round, got beat. We thought we had a chance to keep going. It's just how it happened. But last year was a great season considering everything. We didn't know if we were going to have any games canceled, which we did because of COVID. But being able to finish and go into playoffs, and the support that the support that we get at the playoff games from the city of Hearne. And speaking of support, I'm moving around, but this year's team, we just got them playing in the Eglin Invitational.
Yes.
We had some games at 10 in the morning. We had some games at 4 in the afternoon. And each time we played, there were at least, I would say about 15 Hearne fans or parents at them games. And you would think it was about 100 in there the way it got. So the support for the girls basketball team, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And that we know when the playoffs come, we know the bleachers get filled with maroon. So, but the girls, they're used to it now. They're used to it. And for me, I appreciate it because back in the day when we were in school, you had to get to the gym like at 4:30, 5 o'clock with JV girls, JV boys, and then varsity teams. So, we get to the playoffs now. It looks like that, and I'm just happy for these kids to have that experience.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think this year, I keep telling everybody this year is special. It's going to be special because the team we have is full of juniors and sophomores, and we don't have. But those juniors have been on varsity since freshman playing, not just on the team. So.
Your top 5.
With district starting next week, actually in a week, I feel very good about it, and I think that experience is going to help us down the road, especially with the playoffs coming up.
That's good. That's good. I'm excited. I hope I can see at least one game this season. What you said something that I want to talk about briefly. You said something about the parents. The parent support, and what's different about the parents of your athletes? Because I'm not going to personally call their names, but if they were watching this, my girls were watching this, they would laugh. I had a few issues with some of them not me having issues with them, but they had an issue in a classroom. Maybe they didn't get an assignment done or something. And
and the parents will come up. They know when they know when they have the kids, the doors open, they can always come in. I had 2 parents come at the same time for the same class and grab them, and then they got to come home because they didn't handle their business basically, you know. So no, the kids knowing that I will call their parent, or the parent calls me. The girls, they know not to play around and get their work done because parents have come up and picked them up before out of practice.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, we were at the track, and the 2 parents showed up to the track.
Wow, that's good. I feel like the parents of your athletes are the prime examples that all of our kids should have, who are supportive and on top of everything and having a good communication with the educators at the school. I have a question. What are some obstacles that you face, or at least one obstacle that you face to get to where you are now? Because, we like talking about everything that's good, but like we hit some roadblocks, and how did you overcome it?
Like personal for me?
Personal or?
Well, personal for me, when life punched me in the face the first year out of high school. Because, when you're in high school, you get to just wake up, class starts at 8, get to class, sit there, be quiet, do your work. You can't just do that in college. As a matter of fact, I believe first period in college, I had some classes started at 7:30. It went to 8 o'clock, so when my first year out, I actually went to Ranger Junior College on a partial basketball scholarship. And then I remember how much different that was. And I ended up coming back home and was able to enroll into 2 late classes at Blinn. And I was actually put into 2 junior classes. So I was already behind. and that semester didn't work out. So then the next semester, I tried to get it together. That semester didn't work out. So then I got put on academic probation.
I ain't know all that.
It helped me. It helped me focus.
Yeah.
Getting that letter helped me focus. And so that next year I was able to finally quit being lazy, and I fought through that. And then I spent 2 years at Blinn, and then the next 3 at Sound, and was able to, because that first year I kind of lollygagged and thought it was going to come to me, had to take some extra classes at Sound so I can graduate in 2013. And it all worked out for me. It all worked out.
That's good. That's good. All right, then. Well, I appreciate you sharing all the information. We're going to go to the Fast Five. Fast Five is a section where I'm going to ask you some questions that I didn't tell you what they are before now. And you can answer them however you want. You can answer it in a short way or long ways. So the first one is, who is your favorite coach to learn from and why?
I have a lot of them. And this is a Fast Five?
Yeah. Just do one.
I'm going to give you 2 personal, and I'm going to give you 1 professional.
Okay.
My 2 personal, because I see the work every day. And I've seen it as Alfonso Jackson and Ken Dunn. Okay. Yeah, because I've worked with them for years. And I also can't forget Lloyd Turner, who works with our junior high, which is a job, which is a job. And so, and then a professional, I have a lot. I do a lot of reading, so I got to go with Coach K from Duke.
Coach K from Duke. Why?
Well, a lot of people, if you knew, his first couple of years didn't start out good. He didn't win a lot of games. And then now a lot of people know who he is. But dude, because of the winning, but at the same time, the relationships he builds with his players, which helps, what the relationship off the court helps on the court. So Coach K from Duke is one of my favorite coaches I like to learn from. All right, Coach K, I need to look him up. The second one is, what's the best game you played in high school? Or one of your favorite games? I'm just gonna say one of my favorite was when we beat Polk in that regional semifinal to go to the regional final. That night we played in Austin and we won. And I just remember all of Hearne being in there in the Delco Center. Yeah. And so that was one of my best games just because of how big the game was. Yeah. All right. Number 3. This is going to be a bit controversial.
Who is the best athlete, male athlete of the 2000s from 2000 to 2009?
From 2000 2009?
Yeah.
Man, I got a tie. Just because it's my part. I got a tie. Because I
Okay.
look at, we say athlete, I look at football, basketball, baseball, and track. So I've got Alfonso Jackson and Pat Edwards.
Okay. Okay. I'll let you have it.
And if I'm not mistaken, I know for sure they played all three: football, basketball, baseball. And then I know Pat hurt his leg his senior year. I don't think he ran track that year, his senior year. And that relay went to state.
Yeah.
And then Alfonso, I can't remember if he ran, because I was in 8th grade when he was a senior.
Yeah.
But I know he was on top of basketball, football. They both were two good baseball players.
And they both went on to play in college as well and won. Both of them won championship.
I don't look at just one sport.
Yeah.
I don't look at one sport. I look at multiple sports. So that's what athlete is to me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Shout out to Funzo and Ken. I mean, not Ken, Pepe. Pepe. Number 4, what book has made the most impact on you over the past year? It can be one. I know you read.
Let me give you a title. I'm gonna pull my notes out on my phone because I write down every book I read. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you a good one.
I might have to go give me a copy.
Let's go with the number 2, my second book I read last year, The Power of a Positive Team.
The Power of a Positive Team. All right. That's what Coach Anthony is reading. The Power of a Positive Team. That's a good one. Number 5. What is Coach Ant's hype song to get him in the zone?
Man, that's a tough one. You know what? I got one for you. Because I had the girls played in the locker room before we came out on the floor in every playoff game last year.
Uh-huh.
And like you call it, the Hearne anthem, Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. and that was one of my best friends, Jimmy Jones. That was one of his favorite songs.
Yeah.
So in memory of him last year, we would play it in the locker room before we came out.
I know the energy of a crowd will change if that song comes on.
That was what would get the girls focused in. That was the last thing after they heard me talk. That was the last thing to listen to before it was time to take the floor. And so just kind of those last few seconds before we come out in the playoff game with all them people out there, that got them ready.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think I want to do a bonus because I feel like I can't have this conversation without talking about you being a father. Mm-hmm. What does fatherhood mean to you for Kyler and Kaya?
It's the best job ever. It's the best job ever, and I'm thankful for the adults older than me that I look at the successful relationships with their kids. I talk to them, and I do have to shout out one Hearne legend, Marcus Wade. His son played quarterback in Franklin. They just won a state championship, but I've talked to him lately often about just because he has a son and 2 daughters, and just keeping that balance with and for me is coaching other kids like Kyler. He's around my team every single day, and so a couple weeks ago he asked me after the girls got done practicing. He's like, "Daddy, I want to get some work," and I was tired, and he was like, I can't work with everybody else's kids and I work with my own. So, we spent that extra 30 minutes after practice, just me and him in the gym. And so, but once I get home and lay down and see how happy he was that his daddy spent time with him, that's all that matters. Father is the best job I've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Most challenging too, but it's the best job.
Most fulfilling. Yeah. That's good. I love that. And we shout out to Kyla and Kaya, my goddaughter. So my last one is, if you can give a shout out to someone else who you feel is putting Hearne on the map, they could either be living in Hearne or living outside of Hearne, who would that person be?
Ken Dunn.
Ken Dunn. Come on,
Dunn,
Ken.
Man, if you worked in the district, you'll know that dude stays on the go. He stays on the go. If they need him to drive a team to a game, he's gonna drive them to the game without complaining. If they need him to fill in the classroom, he's gonna fill in the classroom. If you need him in the gym, he's going to the gym. So yeah, that Ken Dunn is he's truly a gift to Hearne.
Yeah. Shout out to Ken.
Got to get him on here now. And he don't like talking, but you got to get him on here now.
I get him on here. I know Ken. Ken, actually, me, Ken, and Fonzo used to work together at the pool when I first started working. So Ken has been someone I always looked up to because we, went to church together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coach Ant. Well, I appreciate everything you share, all these gems that you dropped. I'm sure the audience is going to love everything that you shared. And we are rooting for the Lady Eagles to make it to state this year.
Yeah, we're gonna need every game packed out too.
Yeah. How can we stay in touch with Coach Ant? I know you got Twitter. You're very active on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Very active on there, especially during the season, providing updates. And then we also I have my personal Facebook page, and then we have the Hearne Lady Eagle basketball page on Facebook that our coaches all, put updates just to keep everybody in the loop. And then that's
what's your Twitter handle?
It's Ant A-N-T 11HT for Hearne, Texas.
All right, y'all, get out and like the Hearne Lady Eagles basketball page. Follow Coach Ant for updates. You can also follow HISD if you want to as well to be in the know about what's happening in Hearne. Again, Coach Ant, thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate you, and thank you for putting Hearne on the map.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, y'all. Thank you again for watching Hearne on the Map. If you enjoyed that video, if you could do me a favor, please write down in the comments one thing that you liked most about the video. And also, if you want to subscribe or share it on your favorite social media platform, that would be great too. I appreciate it. Hearne on the Map.